Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for Chili's for the invitation as well. As a former footballer and a former captain, I'm way more used to rallying the troops, and I see some kind of sleepy faces after the lunch wine and beers, but yeah, thanks for staying with us this afternoon. So I'm delighted to present to you the Included Accelerator. It's an initiative from Chili's group, the Web3 ecosystem for sports and entertainment. We've just heard from the founder before. And so at Chili's, there are over 70 major professional sports teams utilizing its infrastructure. And so we thought, OK, this is fantastic. But with the Included Accelerator, we sought to engage areas of the global sports ecosystem that are less active in Web3. So think community sport, women's sport, social enterprises, social entrepreneurs, that this type of organization are less active in Web3, but have huge interest and volume and engagement and impact. So we set about designing the Included Accelerator as an education and mentorship initiative that would introduce blockchain technology in the language of this type of organization that often sees sport as a public good, as a human right. So in order to make the content for this learning experience, to get wider engagement from across the sports industry, we took inspiration from an area of Web3 that is the kind of regenerative area that, where there's a lot of exciting examples of using blockchain technologies to power and support initiatives doing good in society and for the planet. Of course, we took inspiration, like international organizations, United Nations, governments, and so on. They're already using blockchain to support financial inclusion, social inclusion, and so on. So we took a lot of case studies and inspiration, and we looked at ways that these types of use cases could be applied within the sports industry. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the content of the accelerator, and then some of the early insights and findings. We launched it in 2024, last year. We've been running for about a year and a half. And so 2 elements, the education and then the mentorship. So the education was free, open source, available for those working in different areas of the sports industry, and then a mentorship component as well, which for select number of organizations and innovators who have gone through that educational experience and then are starting to think seriously about building in Web3. So on the educational content, we designed and are actively delivering the first of its kind certification on blockchain, sport, and social impact. It's certified by Chili's. The content is incredible. So it dives into themes like funding mechanisms, crypto philanthropy, community governance, participation, decision-making. It has loads of great examples from across development and international organizations, from across sports. And we have experts and contributors from different organizations, McLaren Racing to Save the Children to the United Nations. And then in parallel, we have this, the more bespoke one-to-one mentorship. We call it the Blockchain Bootcamp. But this is for a select number of organizations that have gone through the learning. They're getting inspired. They're thinking about what this might mean for their own sports organization, federation, NGO, association, startup. And then we pair them with blockchain experts, and we've done one-on-one advising sessions. It might be looking at their strategy, their roadmap, making recommendations, and so on. This is a really nice funnel and entry point into the Chili's ecosystem. So we're starting with education, we then continue with mentorship, and then that is a springboard into other opportunities within the Chili's ecosystem. When we launched with the first cohort, this was the English-speaking cohort, we intentionally reached out to representatives from the organizations we were looking for, right? So, as I say, federations and clubs and community clubs and all different types of organizations, women's rights organizations, universities. We had 321 professionals working in these diverse organizations from over 46 countries across 6 continents. A lot of interest, a lot of engagement. And then from these 321 participants in the education, we then selected and identified 6 organizations to receive one-on-one mentorship, and there's some great outcomes that have come out of that. So one of them is a sports federation that we recommended for to transition into a participatory DAO mechanism. Another one is a startup that is tokenizing athletes, female and male footballers of same value. They went on to receive funding from Chili's Labs. We've had a couple of organizations then go on to embed Web3 within their digital transformation strategy. We inspired the International Olympic Committee, the IOC, to start incorporating and investing in blockchain and other emerging technologies via their innovation hub. So a lot of really good early successes. The main insights that we have from that first cohort, and I'll tell you a little bit later about the later cohorts that we're doing, it's really 3 things. So first of all, we see a lot of great practices and uses of blockchain technology across the broader development, humanitarian, international organizations, this kind of social impact sector that's focusing on financial inclusion and social inclusion. We feel like there are really good use cases and things within that area that are relevant to the sports industry, but it's quite nascent. Secondly, the specific examples of either organizations we've incubated through the mentorship or case studies that we featured on the certification, it's really 3 main things. So it's governance, so the infrastructure underpinning communities, memberships, collective organizations, right? Sport is about people, about bringing people together. There's a lot of relevance there. The second is on alternative ways to access capital and to coordinate funding decisions, so really in this funding space. And then, getting funding to where it's needed the most. I mean, some of these organizations, they're delivering sports programs in areas that are incredibly difficult to get funding to where it's needed. And similar to that, we also see a lot of need and interest and application within frictionless and simpler payments. Thirdly, though, this is an audience that is still quite new to this space, so there are still a lot of questions and concerns, and we get a lot of questions throughout the whole process that we are continuously trying to look for answers, respond to. So what's next? Following on from a successful cohort in English, we then took the cohort and we created a Spanish version that we're currently rolling out. We have professionals from the diverse sports ecosystem from 15 countries, 15 Spanish-speaking countries, so Spain and then across Latin America. So that language inclusion is really enabling us to spread further. We're also just in the process as well of launching a Brazil-focused Accelerator initiative. So again, when we have a regional focus, we bring in regional experts. So we have the head of innovation from Sao Paulo Football Club, who's going to be contributing for the Brazil one. In the Spanish audience, we've got like the CMO of the Argentine Football Association and innovators from Colombia and other places as well. And then with these increasing cohorts, we're also on the lookout for organizations that are really thinking about, okay, what's the next step? And continuing with the one-to-one mentorship support and continuing with connecting them to other opportunities within the Chili's ecosystem. Finally, if you're interested in what we're doing at the Includ3d Accelerator, I do encourage you to get your phones out, to sign up, or just to get in contact with us. And I'll leave with my final words, which is really, okay, what is our vision for, what is it that we want? And if we get the opportunity to speak to an audience here from the crypto space, from the Web3 space, what is it that we really want? And I think, first, I think it's twofold for me. It's there's so much meaningful work and the importance of sport in our lives, in society, in the world. We have mega events and tournaments and recent, the Summer of Women's Sport that we've just had now. So there are these moments in sport that really bring people together and have an important role in our lives. So if we can gear the technologies to drive and to further support and enable those things, it's surely a good thing. And secondly, of course, we have access, we have exposure to many organizations, entrepreneurs who are doing incredible things in sport, with sport, through sport. And so if that is interesting for you, please do come and find us, find the team at Chili's, and let's have a conversation. Thank you very much.